So this special video is solely to discuss the issues going on with the Los Angeles Rams, and I can say firsthand on watching the Rams over the last 6 weeks that they have a lot of issues. They're 3-3. Their offense is not producing as well as it could be. Their defense is starting to struggle. But in this video, I'm going to highlight three big reasons why the Rams are just struggling right now. They're 3-3, and they're not taking the league by storm. So number one, obviously, is Jared Goff. Jared Goff has totally underwhelmed this year. I expected much more from him. I thought Goff was going to go off. He was going to have three good running backs with him, Todd Gurley. He's going to have Malcolm Brown. He's going to have Darrell Henderson. But the Rams have not used these running backs the way I thought they would. They've instead run Gurley into the ground again. Now Todd Gurley's injured, just like he's been injured last year. And that's hurting the Rams. The Rams drafted a running back for the sole purpose of protecting Gurley, and he got hurt again. Let's look at Jared Goff's stats. During the regular season, he's thrown for 7 touchdowns and 7 interceptions, which is a big disappointment compared to last year. Last year, he threw 32 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. The year before that, he threw 28 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. His passer rating has fallen down by 20. So that should tell you how far Goff has fallen. In the game against the 49ers, he only threw for 78 yards. That's pretty sad. The game before that against the Seahawks, he was forced to throw the ball, and he threw for 395 yards. And against the Bucks, he threw for 517 yards. While these numbers look good on the surface, it also means that the Rams' running game did not get anything going that day, and that's pretty true. And the Buccaneers were able to torch them at every turn. So Jared Goff is one huge reason why the Rams are struggling right now. They're 3-3 heading into a showdown with Atlanta. The number two reason is Todd Gurley, and now you're going to attack me saying Todd Gurley is one of the best running backs in the league. However, you look at his stats this season. Todd Gurley he's run for 64 times, 270 yards. That's 270 yards through 5 games. He's averaging 4.2 yards per touch. He has 5 touchdowns. While that would seem like it's pretty good, if you look at his stats from last year, he had 1,200 yards, 1,251 yards, 1,300 yards the year before. So he's been slowly regressing a little bit. But his average yards per touch are down this year, as are his receptions, it seems. He's not getting many receptions as much as he used to, and he's not averaging much on the receptions as much as he used to. The Rams' offense is not spreading the ball as much as they would like. They're not properly getting separation from defenders, and that's hurting them. And their offense is suffering as a whole, and it's causing them to either turn the ball over or punt the ball. And they're experiencing a lot longer third downs because they're not running the ball as efficiently as they possibly could. Number 3, Aqib Talib is not the reason why the Rams' defense is bad this year. I'm going to say that right now. However, Aqib Talib could also be better for the Rams. He got hurt recently, and he has not been himself. And let's look at his numbers for this year. Aqib Talib he doesn't have an interception yet this year. He doesn't have a sack. He has 14 combined tackles, which is pretty good compared to last year when he only had 23. But Aqib Talib is not delivering what he could have been. Now, the Rams just traded Marcus Peters, so you got to think that there's something bigger in the works. But right now, it seems like the Rams' defense is still looking for an identity. They got torched by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who put up 50-plus points on them. They allowed Jameis Winston to put up 50-plus points on them. That's pretty sad. Russell Wilson tore him apart. You could see if you watched the highlights of that game how frustrated they were. And then the 49ers ran right on them. So the Rams' defense needs work. So what do the Rams need to do to solve this? Well, let's look at their schedule. The Rams' schedule, the next few games, they head to Atlanta. Falcons are in disarray. So that should help the Rams. The Rams have to go into Atlanta, and they have to strike first, early, and often. I think the Rams should be able to take that game. Then they host the Bengals. The Bengals are a team that allows the most running yards per game. And I think that the Rams will be able to take them out. The Rams then have to head to Pittsburgh, which will be tough because that defense is pretty solid. So the Rams are going to have to win the field position against the Steelers. Then they host the Bears, which will be a tough test because the Bears were the first team that exposed Jared Goff last year. And the Rams are going to need to run the ball efficiently in that game to have a chance of beating the Bears. And after that game, they play the Ravens at home, which also is a very winnable game. But again, you're going to be facing Lamar Jackson. So the Rams' next 6 games are all very winnable from a paper standpoint, but games aren't played on paper. The Rams need to find a way to execute and win these games. The only chance they have of potentially competing in the NFC West is to win all of the next 6 games. And if they can do that, then that matchup with the Seahawks on December 8th becomes a lot more interesting. What do you think about the LA Rams? Do you think that they have a chance to make up for their mistakes early in the season? Do you think they can redeem themselves? Let me know in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe.